And we'll hear her out. For the most part, I saw the first 2 minutes of this before actually seeing it now. So I thought it'd be really fun to kind of watch. And I actually agreed with her for most of the part, especially like on her Twitter. I agree that, you know, it's not just the expansion itself, but it's more like the feeling of burnout, and I feel like there's lack of content. And you might argue, yes, there's a lot of content, but it's about choosing the goal, you know? If you're goalless, you can have a million goals, right? Or sorry, millions of content, but if you don't have a goal and you feel goalless and you feel like the goal isn't worth, then it's like kind of pointless. At least that's how it feels for some parts in Endwalker. Well, let's hear her out.
Hey Buns, today we need to talk about the Endwalker patches because look, this is a video that I wanted to make quite some time ago, but I myself actually got really burnt out for the first time in the entire time I've been playing these games, which is since 2015.
I'm gonna be honest. I felt the burnout, especially after finishing all the ultimates. That's when it like hit hard, and I just like spammed reclears for top over and over and over until I burnt myself out completely. And now I just kind of like I rarely log in now.
It's Heaven's Ward. I've been an active player ever since then, and it was the first time that I actually felt like I really needed to step away and take a breather, and I did just that, because although I had thought about a lot of these things before, I was thinking, well, am I just being burnt out? Am I being unfairly negative? Am I being a hater? So I took...
That's what some people will say, like her saying that it's the worst expansion is like being a hater. But you know, she's one of the most dedicated FF fans. Like, she loves the game, she just wants the game to have fucking content. Or like content that's meaningful for her goals.
Took that break, and I came back feeling refreshed and revitalized and in love with the game again, and I'm having fun again. I'm working on my glams, I'm raiding, I'm doing the hunt trains, I've got my bluebird bow, which I love, and I can't wait to get the bunny staff. These are amazing. So looking forward to Dawn Trail, looking forward to the Fan Fest in London, and overall, back in love with this game that means so much to me.
Oh yeah, I really wonder what they're going to show in the Fan Fest, actually. That's going to be huge.
It is really home for me. But with all that said, looking back now with a much more clear mind, I think, I definitely feel that the concerns that I had before, some of them definitely had real merit. And I think it's not a coincidence that it's not just me, but almost everyone I know seems to be burnt out with FFXIV right now, and just not logging into the game, or raid logging, or just completely disinterested.
Every time I log in thinking, why did I just log in? Like, what do I really want to do right now in the game? Like, I just don't really have goals right now after finishing the ultimates. Just really. No, I feel that.
Interested in feeling like, well, there's so little pressure to log in, and I could either log in now or maybe next year, or maybe in 5 years, And so, yes, there's still one more patch, but we know exactly what is going to be in it, because for better or for worse, this has been very, very predictable too. And I'm seeing social groups sort of dissolve, and it sucks. I'm concerned about the state of the MMO. And although I'm not doomsaying, okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not out here like, oh, well, this is the end of it.
Yeah, this game's dead.
No, I'm not saying that, okay? But what I am saying is that there are concerning signs, and I'm seeing less engagement from everyone I personally know. And then I thought, well, maybe it's just my group of people that I know. So I went on Twitter and I asked the question to do a vibe check of the community. Be honest. How do you feel about the Endwalker patches? And I was honestly shocked by the number of people that just felt like
worst patch content in history of the game's expansions. Damn. Look, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Criterion dungeons are ass, okay? Like, no one cares about Criterion. and I feel like they just keep releasing it, but no one really cares about them. It doesn't have high replayability. I feel like they're actually just pointless. Yeah, you get the mount from it, but no one really wants to play it. You don't get this. It's a mount. Like, it's cool for mount collectors, but I don't think anyone really plays Criterion.
It's underwhelming. It's lackluster. It's just not that interesting. These are not people who are saying, it's terrible, I hate it, it sucks. That's not really what I'm hearing that much. What I'm hearing is, it's mid. It's fine. I don't really care that much. I'm hearing apathy. I'm hearing, like...
Painfully mid.
It's okay. And honestly, that's not gonna cut it. Like, if we want to keep people playing this game long term and have people to play with, I feel like the game is going to have to find ways to get more people excited about it and get more people happy, looking forward to log in. I can't wait to log in and play FFXIV, because especially this year, I think what we're starting to see is that there are...
They need to make like something big, like each patch needs to feel special, but right now I feel like the major patches, the only special thing is just the MSQ. Yep. Pretty much. The MSQ and the certain patches that have or add new rate tier. Those are the best patches ever.
A ton of really quality games coming out, and they are, for better or worse, in competition for your time. And it's wonderful that FFXIV does not, pressure you so much to log in. It has never done that. But in the past expansions, we have, although the game hasn't been pressuring you too much to log in, there have been exciting things that we could all log in together.
It would be nice to have a reason to log in, though. I mean, I get it. Take break from the game. That's the way the game's meant to be played. But I would love a reason to log in.
To do.
Still.
People have reasons to do. Yes, it is normal for, after a patch has been out for a while, people to get burnt out and bored. It's normal for, at the end of an expansion's life cycle, for people to get, I'll just go do other stuff. That's okay.
Yeah,
that
true.
Always happens. But what I'm seeing is this happening soon after, like a week after a major patch comes out, or like I started to see this phenomenon after the first major patch of the whole expansion. 0.1 patch, 0.2 patch, 0.3 patch. This should not be as big of a phenomenon as it is so early on in the life cycle of the expansion, and so I'm worried. And we're going to talk about all the contributing factors. And if you're having a good time, good for you. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't be having fun. If you're having fun, great. Keep at it. But this is an MMO, right? And we want people to be excited to log in. If they're not, then it's just not as good.
I don't like logging in just to do my dailies. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I don't get much fulfillment. I understand they're dailies. They're supposed to be like something you do, but I would like to do something special that day rather than just the dailies. There needs to be something big. Like the weekly is good. The weekly raids, they're the only reason right now that I log in, but how long is that going to last, right? Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out next month. I'm going to be spamming it, but 6.5, we'll have to see what they add, but I'm just not feeling it,
It's not a single player game, even though lately it feels like they are trying to turn it into that. One thing I keep hearing from people is that, I'm burnt out. But I don't think that's even the right word, because with burnout, you think normally that's when...
It's more like waiting for something nice to come to the game. It just feels like there isn't. I don't know. Once you finish all the ultimates, for me, right? Because everyone's experience is going to differ. But once I finished all the ultimates, I had less of a reason of logging in. I didn't even know what kind of videos and content to make about FF. Like, yeah, I could make a Reaper guide and stuff like that, I guess, but I don't know, man. I want to make something for new shit that they add.
You do something so much, so often, every day, so hard and so long that you just get sick of it and you can't think about it. You don't want to think about it anymore. You're tired of it, and it's such a relief to stop. But this isn't really what I'm seeing with people. These are people that want to do something. It's more like how burnout is actually
Yeah.
thought of in the car world, where you just sit there,
It's wanting
you stay
something.
put, and you're spinning the wheels, but you're not going anywhere. Getting in the car, there's a lot of smoke. This car could.
Like, what do they add now? They added this event, right? Where you can get the Phoenix mount. So you have the event, you get the Phoenix mount, and it incentivizes you to do more other daily shit, basically, to get the currency, to then use the currency to get emotes. Like, is this gonna make me want to log on and grind it? Like, I don't really care that much. The adventure plate from side quest 2, easy to miss. The adventure plate? There's a side quest for adventure plate? I didn't actually know anything about that. Wait, what is that? Where is it? Is it actually like in the somewhere in Limsa or something? Hold on. Wait, actually? Well, what about it? What do they do with your adventure plate? If it's the event thing, I did the event thing. But what does that do with adventure plate, though? It's a frame kit? Oh, you already did that. Ah, I thought... Yeah, I see. I mean, yeah, I guess they did add that, but it's like, whatever, still, you know? I don't even use it because I use the DSR portrait. I think it's way better. It's near the Skywatch. There's another side quest that gives one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it's not the same. Okay, gotcha.
It'd be fun to drive at some point, but that point is not right now because you are stationary. Now, one thing that I'm really tired of hearing,
True.
and I think a lot of us are at this point just sick of hearing, is, well, Yoshi P says that you can just go play other games. If you're not happy with them, just go play other... Well, that's what I've been doing, okay? I played other games for...
That's what I've been doing as well. I'm not gonna lie, like, I get it. I get what Yoshi's trying to say with it. Play other games. You don't have to always play FF. The thing is, though, like, I wanna play FF more, but there's literally nothing for me to do right now. That's the issue, is I want to. I don't know, man. They just gotta add more meaningful content. That's it.
6
So-
months. Yes, I'm glad I can play other games.
I can't wait to log in and play Criterion. Woo!
I'm glad that
Who fucking says that? Literally, who says that?
FFXIV doesn't pressure me to the extent that World of Warcraft used to.
Criterion!
But
Oh my god,
I think
content!
that's
I can't wait to get the mount.
Things of the spectrum,
Woohoo!
World of Warcraft being on the extreme end of, oh my god, I have to be on this treadmill and I have to keep up or I'm going to fall behind and stuff. That's a way to burn out quickly. And now FFXIV is so far and going further in the other end of the spectrum of, oh, there's so little pressure on me that I could either do this today or I could do it next year.
Yeah, it needs to be like somewhere in the middle.
Like, this also has a similar effect of just having people not in the game.
Yeah.
They're just not playing the game, ultimately. That's the end result.
And if they do log in the game, they're AFK in Limsa, emoting for hours. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. That's pretty much what happens. Is people log in for a reason and they end up AFKing. They go /lean on a wall and they literally stay there and just do other stuff, kind of have the game in the background. Like, you're not actually actively playing the game, right? This is the thing. Is just you're logging in, you find a reason to log in, you force yourself to log in, and then you just AFK.
Result. And this damages social groups. It damages...
Every MMO feels mid nowadays. Yeah, like MMOs, they just need a lot of updates just to keep engagement, man. I get it. They added the fucking Criterion, but I'm not really... It's not really that interesting. Like, no one cares about that. I just came back to FF14 to lean on the wall. Hey, there you go. See? There you go. Basically just cap for tunes for the week. Exactly. Yeah, and the tone cap is still shit because for some reason it's at 450. Why is it still at 450? I don't know. What would be interesting? Excellent question. What would be interesting? Actually, I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think? What would be interesting per patch? You know, I'm gonna be honest. Every point patch, add a new raid, new trial, new. It will 100% keep me coming back, and I'd be interested. I know that may be unrealistic, but still, it would be something that will get me in. But again, like when it comes to the content in FF, everyone's gonna have a different type of what they like. You know, different type of content that they enjoy. Some people like to party and house. If you're that kind of guy that loves housing, you're gonna never get bored of this game. Because for you, it's a social game. You're gonna love it every time you log in. You can do events, parties, you know, DJs. If you open the Final Fantasy XIV category right now, I guarantee you there are people doing DJ streams, you know, on the weekends especially, they do that. Right? They have a lot of fun with it. That's cool, you know? That's another way of enjoying the game. Oh, it's Pyro. He's reacting to the same video I am. He's also watching it. Yep, there you go. Oh my god, there's a lot of YouTubers. Oh, let's see. DJ. I'm sure there's like... oh, look, it's me, guys. Maybe they don't do it on Monday? I don't know. Or Tuesday. But right now, it's mainly like reset stuff or DJs on the weekends. I don't know if they're doing it. But I know that it's a big thing on the weekends. Yeah, I should react to him reacting. Exactly. We're both just doing react. Roz just bought the mount off the market board instead of doing it. Yeah, there you go. Wait, you can buy it from the market board. What the fuck? I did not know you could buy the criteria mount off market board. That's... wow. So it gives you less of a reason to do the fucking Criterion dungeons. There you go. Wow. People can just buy it. What the fuck? I mean, it's not like the Criterion dungeon is really interesting. It was an idea. They tried it. It doesn't work. The rewards are ass. The rewards are ass. Did you do Criterion? Yeah, I did them, and I got bored after like a few more days. I just the rewards just didn't really intrigue me. I'd rather do Savage. I just wasn't interested. I'm out. I was out.
It's the health of the game and the longevity of the game, because a lot of times people will go play other games and they just won't come back. Seeing FFXIV go down this path where people feel less and less motivated, or
I really hope the next expansion pops off, man. I really do.
Or interested or incentivized at all to log in at endgame. I think that it's really helpful to listen. I cannot believe I'm saying to Ian Hazakos. Just hear it. I stand by this because he does explain really well why it is important to incentivize players somewhat to play the game that you're making. And this is from the interview that...
yeah, I think that's important. Like, I understand Yoshi P's stand on it and all that, on taking breaks, all that. You don't have to keep playing FF. But I feel like as, you know, if you make the game, you want to make people play your game. Not just for profit, but also because you want them to play the game you're making. I feel like you should incentivize people to do that. I can agree with Zepla on this.
Mike from Preach Gaming had...
right now, I want a reason to log in. I really do.
With Ian at Blizzard HQ about 6 months ago. And this particular part of the interview really stood out to me, because to me, I heard FFXIV all over this.
You know, our goal is never habit in the sense of like you have to log in when you don't want to. Our goal is for you to want to log in. Our goal is for you to want to play World of Warcraft and to look forward to getting back into the game, to have something you want to complete, something you want to chase.
Exactly.
And if you're not wanting it, then...
it's about the goal. Right now, there's not many goals I want in FF. I did the Ultimates, I did the Savage. I'm Biss. Now what? Like, I'm just, like, there's nothing. I don't really want to do anything.
Getting you to do it despite that isn't a victory for us. It's just burning people out. And so I think giving people the freedom to feel like they can take a step away, do something in real life, play another game for a while without falling behind is valuable. I think the one thing that we do worry about when it comes to, you know, sort of raid logging phenomenon or people taking breaks is the social nature of the game. Is, you know, sort of the critical mass of keeping a group together. If the person who is really excited to log in to do things with their guildmates logs in and no one from their guild is online because of whatever reason, and then they just log back off.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm out. My peeps aren't playing. What's the point of me doing shit solo? What am I gonna do? Roulette? Spam them all day?
Kind of disappointed because they were hoping to play with friends, but their friends weren't around. That can be an issue, and I think that's something, you know, going back to WoD, to Warlords of Draenor, that was probably the peak of the raid logging era, where really there was like, other than checking your garrison, if it wasn't raid night, there was nothing to do.
Yeah. That's pretty much me, like, with FF right now. If we're not raiding, like with my static, for example, I'm just not logging in. There's no reason for me to log in. Just want to do the raids.
That felt like a step too far toward that end of the spectrum.
We joked around whenever Endwalker came out that, oh, Island Sanctuary, that's going to be the garrison of Final Fantasy XIV. And I thought we were kidding, but we weren't. It is actually, it feels a lot like the garrison. This expansion reminds me a lot of Warlords of Draenor, which sucks. Because I quit World of Warcraft during Warlords of Draenor. Now, it's not as bad. It's not anywhere near as bad. But I'm sensing a lot of the same vibes of, like, loneliness. And, like, I'm not even in an MMO anymore. One of the biggest reasons why Endwalker has felt pretty lonely and isolating in the same ways that Warlords of Draenor felt to me all those years ago is the lack of an exploration zone. The lack of anything like Bajra or Eureka.
Oh, there you go. She said Bajra.
Or Zadnor. We just don't have that. And there's nothing added to the game that could even remotely replace that. And it's not even so much about, like, oh, well, I just love farming fates in Bajra. I just love hunting down little items that has a tiny drop rate, and it's not really even so much about the specific things there was to do in Bajra. It's about the vibe of Eureka and
doing
Bajra.
shit
It's
together,
about
yeah.
being in a zone filled with tons of other players.
Yeah, you know, Eureka's pretty cool because of that. Like, people talking with each other in map chat, saying, like, oh, this thing spawned here, come guys. It does have a lot to do with the interaction.
That reminds you that you're in an MMO. That there's a lot of people playing the same game as you, and it's really exciting, and we're all happy to be there for different reasons. Like, you might be in Bajra because you're leveling, or because you're...
Is Pazuzu up? Yeah.
Relic, or because you're doing duels, or because you're collecting mounts, or because you're farming guild, you're doing cluster farming. There's a ton of different reasons why all kinds of different people would be in these places. And you might meet people that you wouldn't have known otherwise.
So, why didn't they add this in Endwalker? Like another next level Bajra? Why not? Like, just add the deep dungeon and add a new Bajra. Call it whatever. Have its own story. Something.
You might meet people that were strangers to you before, but you have shared this common purpose, and then you meet more often. And
because Criterion, yeah, I can't believe it, dude. You know, Criterion sucks. The only nice thing about it is the glam when you do variant dungeons. The glam is not bad.
That's how you make friends in the game. That's one of the beautiful things about an MMO. But with the content that they're releasing now, which is like solo stuff and small group stuff, you're usually going in there with people you know or alone. And it sucks because it's like, where else can you even show off your mount to other players in the game? Like, you can't do it in the city.
That's true.
Bajra was the place to do that. It's the place where everyone is. It's the place that's happening that makes you feel like, oh, there's something cool going on and everybody else is doing it. And
you should be able to mount in cities, by the way. I think it'd be cool to show off your mount and stuff.
I can't wait to be there with them. That's
a
the
good
heart
point.
and soul of an MMO. And without that, it just feels really, really empty, frankly. And I definitely feel like the lack of a place like that, where everyone is, that feels like it's popping off, like this is the place to be, it might contribute to, or even...
Cartoon is a long lasting, but a few days is relevant to the best content. The fight were absolutely great. I don't know about best content. It's alright, but am I like hyped about it or trying to do it like each other week? Probably not. I'd rather do the Savage shit, to be honest, every time. Yeah, it doesn't have a long life.
Can be a self-fulfilling prophecy where you get it into your head, well, I barely see anyone.
Whereas I think if they added a new Bosja or something like that, I think it would last way longer. I think people now, even now, they do Eureka and stuff. And that's really old content. Guess what? People still fucking do it. Same thing with Bosja. For whatever reason, they gotta grind something, you know, Deliberum Savage. People still do that. There's Late Night Chaos. They try to get groups in for that. It's cool, you know?
Else, and so this game is dead, right? Of course that is going to be reinforced if you're not doing anything. You're not called to do anything where you can actually see tons of other players around. I've been finding myself happy to see lots of people standing around the Aetheryte. And that's about as far as it gets in me feeling like I'm in an MMO. And frankly, that's unacceptable. One of the reasons that we have this...
I guarantee you... Go on, Limza. This is the thing, like, you log in, you go to Limza, she's right about this. And you see, like, people, and you pretty much walk around them, chill around them. I mean, this is what people do here, look. I mean, this is how it's always been, right? It's the RP feel of it, just the idea that you're surrounded around people. But this could be like this, but like Bosja or something, you know? Or like something that's new for Endwalker. Well, this is true. It's been like this. Here, I'm gonna do the typical thing that everyone does. / lean. Yep, I'm just gonna be AFK here for the next 5 hours. Content! I like actively playing a game, you know? I like actively playing it. It just feels like I'm never... The only time I'm actively playing it is when I'm raiding or doing like a new extreme trial, stuff like that. It's really fun. I really enjoy that.
And we don't now, is because in the past, Eureka and Bosja, these exploratory zones, they were tied in with the relic journey. And for whatever reason, not only did they choose to remove these zones from Endwalker completely, but they also removed the relic journey. There is no relic journey.
Hey! You guys like capping tomes? Well, there's more tome capping to do because, hey, if you want the relic, you gotta get 1,500. Just spam roulettes, dude. That's the content. Literally. Like, why are we gonna try to get this relic, right? Yeah, we do get it for the biz, right? But the effort is like non-existent. I didn't mind it for the first step, but then it's like, what if they made it so, oh hey, kill Savage P8S X amount of times. Something, not exactly that, but something. Something where you need to clear content and then you'll progress the relic, something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, the new deep dungeon, get the floor 50 without dying. Get the floor 50 without using feint. Just challenges. I don't know. I'm making shit up right now, but I'm just giving examples. Like something that's we can do content-wise to progress rather than just spam the roulettes and get the shit.
For Endwalker, you cannot say that turning in tombstones each time counts as a relic.
It's trash. It's not even really like interesting at all.
The journey. So let me explain if you're new. In the past, in every other expansion of Final Fantasy XIV ever.
Yeah, you had to do Bosja for the Shadowbringer's relic.
The relic has been a very special weapon that has been a journey for you to get. Now, usually You complete it in stages. Each stage.
Dude, he looks like Aragon. The cat boy, he looks like Aragon. What the fuck?
Each becoming increasingly more cool looking, shiny. It transforms over time. And with each stage, you need to go grind some materials. You need to go, I don't know, farm fates, maybe do some dungeon or whatever to get the materials you need to upgrade it to the next stage. And so it's this long process. It's meant to cover the entire expansion, and it really is casual content. Because at the very, very end of it, very end of the expansion, then you have a pretty good weapon. And it's a sparkly weapon, and it shows that you had dedication and you had patience. So it's a great way for a casual player who maybe doesn't want to raid to get a really cool weapon that they can be proud of, that shows they were committed to this. And
man, that ninja weapon, man, it gets worse.
Cool weapon that
unfortunately,
they can be proud of, that shows they
like this is cool right here. These are long dagger. They're really cool actually. This one is alright. This one's still cooler. The last step was the absolute worst though. She didn't show it in the picture here.
Something to be proud of for sure.
Thank God.
It always has been. But this is the first expansion where I have not heard shit from anybody about their relics, because the relics are in the game.
Yeah.
The relics are still in the game.
Hey guys, I grinded roulettes all day. I got the relic. Congrats. Yeah, like who gives a fuck?
Endwalker. But to upgrade your relic this time,
literally anyone can do this.
And it's not even that many. In fact,
1.5k.
You can log in, and if you hadn't been spending tomestones, you have enough. And that's it. It's literally a tomestone weapon.
Yeah.
There's no cool, like...
It is just tomestone, that's true.
There's no process, really, to get it anywhere. There's no journey. They just removed that completely. Why? Why did they do this? I do not understand. We have tomestone weapons already. Why do we need another worse tomestone weapon? I am truly baffled by this decision, by them to get rid of this thing that also...
It's like they didn't have any like creativity with it at all. Not even challenges, not even ways of like trying to get it. Nope. Tomestones, here you go.
Served the very important purpose of keeping people engaged with the game.
Yeah, something to grind.
A lot.
I mean, it would have helped if it was better looking than the Sasuke relic, but nothing beats the Sasuke relic, so to be honest, I'd get it because it's Biss. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the relic for Ninja, kinda trash compared to Sasuke, and I'm putting that mildly, okay?
Between patches. It's the thing that, like, it gave you something to do between...
I'm trying to be nice, because the relic, you know, if I didn't have Sasuke, it'd be different. But, man, look at this shit. This is ARR, okay? This is the real grind. You want a real grind? This right here. This is the real grind. You know how long this took me? Oh, months. I went all in. I wanted that weapon. I dedicated that weapon. And guess what? It's the best ninja weapon in the game. Oh yeah. Looks matches my glam perfectly. I got the white and red. Look at these colors, man. That shit's just different. Yoshimitsu's really good. It's not? Yeah. You mean it is? Bro, look at this. Are you kidding me? Look, I'm gonna do battle stance and G pose it. Look how fucking cool it looks. Oh, I love that pose as well. I fucking love that pose. Give it a Sakura. Give it a nice bright. Look at that shiny, beautiful red color. Every time I look at this, it fills me with joy. Now, this is the best ninja relic. By far. Perfect size. Perfect shape. And get the glowing effect is so good. It's like red fire, but not really fire. It's just, I'm all over it. I'm fucking all over it. It's literally the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And so they haven't come close to this relic just yet. Not even close.
For example, I think it was at the end of Stormblood where there was a big content drought, like a giant one. And I'm pretty sure it was End of Stormblood. And somebody had asked Yoshi P, what do we do? Waiting. It's such a long drought. What do we do? Waiting for the next expansion. And he said, oh, just get every relic weapon. And people were kind of mad at him at the time because it was kind of a cop-out answer. But it was a valid answer because getting each one was time-consuming. That's really what it...
Yeah, but it's about wanting it. Do you want to do all that? Really?
The purpose that it served in the past was to keep you busy waiting for the content. But without that, it's almost like they deliberately are now choosing to not have you play the game between the patches. This is the first expansion.
It feels like they're putting out the content just so that there's content, because really the content is the new expansion. Pretty much. I mean, come on.
All my years of playing FFXIV, that I don't even know what my relic looks like. I don't know. And my friends who normally send me screenshots of, look, I just got the new relic for my job, and oh, I just got another relic. It's usually a thing we are excited to share.
Yeah, it was hype.
It's a big deal. It's like a big
And now it's like jack shit because it's so easy to get.
Milestone every time that you get your relic and you upgrade it because it's hard to do. Nobody I know is even getting a relic. Nobody's even going after it now because it's not cool, because it's easy to get. It has no value.
And it sucks. The actual glams themselves really aren't that good. They're not better than Sasuke still.
Because it's just anyone can get it. So what does it mean? What does it
We'll
say?
see about the final step though.
Why would they remove this? It just feels like laziness, frankly. It feels like maybe they didn't even want to put it at all, but they felt like they had to, and
Actually, I didn't take away from 14.
they put the lowest amount of effort into it as possible. They really phoned it in, and frankly, it's shameful because this is not what the relic is meant to be. It is meant to be something.
I mean, Yoshi P did work on that, right? So he would have been putting more resources in releasing the new FF compared to, you know, XIV and the patches.
To keep you busy for a little longer, but it also...
I know he's game director, but I think he would have a big role, right? For the patches.
feels like it's a deliberate choice that they do not want people even logging in that much. They just don't want you to feel like you need to log in at all. It's crazy. Now, the next thing that it pains me to say, because I am an MSQ Andy. I live for the main story quest of FFXIV, and that will never change. But I have never been more disappointed with the main story quest than I have in this expansion's patches. Now, I loved 6.0. I thought it was great.
Yeah, 6.0 was
but
different.
The patches have definitely left a lot to be desired. And I was really patient, and
I'll agree with her on this because I compare Shadowbringer's patches when it came to story compared to this. I feel like Shadowbringer's story was really hype. Yeah, it was awesome. I think 6.4 was really good though. 6.4 is probably the best one because you actually fight Golbez. You see him. You enter the moon of his world and you see some crazy shit. Dude, 6.4 was sick. And 0. I think 0 is also a big reason why this expansion is good because of her character. She's good. How long will it take me to complete my end of a quest line if I skip cutscenes? Honestly, Pokey's not that much. It really doesn't take long. The only thing that would take long is the grinding for tomestones, which is fairly easy. You can just spam roulettes constantly and get a bunch.
And forgiving for the first couple of major patches. I thought, well, you know, they're set.
Yeah, it's like they're filling for Dawn Trail. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Pretty much.
Up for something else, and we're just getting
It's
ready
all
to
just a
pivot,
setup.
and there's meant to be a bit of a lull between what's going into the next thing and blah 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 blah. But looking back, I feel like I was just kind of making excuses, and I don't want to say that all of the story and every moment in the whole story was terrible. No, because there were good moments. There was a lot of really nice moments. Like the slice of life moments I thought were some of the better parts. Especially Estinian doing the push-ups was really nice. But
that part was badass.
I feel like it is...
Yo, Zero and Estinine, bro, they're gonna get together in next expansion.
Shameful and obvious that they, instead of making the trial series side series like we have had with Sorrow of Wirlit or Four Lords in the past, they instead chose to make it the main story quest. They made the trial series the main story quest. We don't have a trial series. We do not have a side series of story.
That's true. Oh my god. I just thought about it. All the trial series are basically the elements. We actually didn't have a trial. That's true. Holy fuck, I totally forgot about that. Are they not going to add it in 6.5 or anything? Like, that's it? Like, she's right. Like a blue quest that was like trials, yeah. Holy fuck. Yeah, like Sephiroth, Sophia, all that. That's like a trial series. Wow, I just had the thought for a sec here. I was like, wait a second. About that.
Story of the trial bosses. Because they have just put it right
in
the main
just put it right in the story, yeah.
So that's less content. Not only is it less story content overall for us.
Less trials, less raids.
Way less interesting. Because as soon as we were aware that there were these archfiends at the very beginning of the expansion, we knew exactly what was going to happen. Some people are saying, oh, well, it's just because 6.0 big arc ended and then we got a new arc starting in Dawn Trail, and so this is just in between, so you can't expect anything good. That's honestly bullshit, because being constrained in time to tell the story usually means that it's going to be easier to tell a good story if you spend enough time really plotting that out and considering it. Like, that's one of the major reasons why I often say Shadowbringers was such a solid story expansion.
It was so
good,
man.
The entire story.
It's my favorite expansion by far. I love Shadowbringers. Excellent story. Content was good. Eden raids were insane. Eden raids, man, they're my favorite raids ever.
Of a planet from beginning, middle, and end within the course of one expansion. So there's all these new people you meet, there's this huge climax, and they need to wrap it all up.
Ruby weapon, emerald weapon, like all that. Man, those were good. And they evolved Gaius' storyline as well. Those are really good, man. Man, Shadowbringers was good.
Before you go. And this made it really satisfying as its own package. So sometimes constraining the story is really, really good because you can get all the juice in better. But it feels like they really took a lazy path, to be quite frank. And they decided, oh, well, won't it be so convenient for us to just do callbacks to huge story moments in FF4, try to recreate those. And a lot of times it felt forced, and it felt like we're just artificially trying to recreate this moment from FF4, and I found that to be very frustrating. And we can, instead of having a side story series like Sorrow of Wirlit, which I know that's a tough act to follow, we'll just make that the main story quest instead. That has sucked. The story has gotten so predictable that in the previous live letter, they even told us who the next boss was going to be, because they know that we...
Oh yeah, Ishgard Restoration as well. Yeah, holy fuck, man. Bro, like, they added so much more content in previous expansions, actually. Honestly, that this is all true.
We know. And they did it for the last one, too. Usually it's like a big secret, like, ooh, we can't even tell you who the new trial boss is going to be because it's going to be this huge story moment. But that really hasn't happened this time.
Yeah.
And it sucks. So, Sorrow of Wirlit was absolutely amazing. I cried at the end. That's
Sorrow of Wirlit? What is that? What's the name of the boss?
The Shadowbringers trial story series. And honestly, it feels like they took a really easy way out with the main story quests for these patches. The better parts were slice of life stuff. Zero being a character who I like, and is generally pretty well received.
Yeah, she's sick.
The moments getting to know and sort of chill out with the Scions has been some of the brighter points. So that gives me
Oh, Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond. Yeah. Those are fucking S tier.
hope for Dawn Trail, because I think it's going to be more.
Dude, Diamond Weapon is one of the best fights ever. Holy shit. It's crazy. After all this time, I still consider it one of my favorite trials.
Or like that stuff. But,
yeah.
God, it has felt stretched out.
That was good. That was really good. It was really cool because you saw a side of Gaius that you never really did before. And that, you know, he regretted what he did before.
It's going to be more like
in
that
ARR.
stuff. But, God, it has felt stretched out, and it's felt like a filler, and that has not been fun. That has not really been very engaging for me. Now, next. The next thing. I know, this is rough, man. The next thing. Island Sanctuary. I literally do not know a single person that is excited and happy with how Island Sanctuary turned out.
Dude, you know what I thought when they talked about Island Sanctuary? Bro, I thought that shit was gonna be insane. That we're gonna make our own island. That, you know, I was like, man, yo guys, I'm gonna invite you guys to my ninja school dojo. I'm gonna teach you guys how to play ninja on my island. I was gonna like have this whole roleplay thing about it. I'm gonna call it the Nino Dojo Room. The Dojo Island. You wanna come in? We'll teach you guys the mudras. Alright, I'll teach you guys the Tenchi Jins. Bro, I'm not even kidding. I was gonna make it a whole island about ninjas. I was gonna put statues. I was gonna, you know, I thought it was like that. That's what I thought when they talked about your own island. Instead, it's copy paste. Everyone gets the same shit. You know how disappointed I was? I thought it was gonna be way more than that. I thought we weren't gonna be able to customize everything. There was no customization. It's the same shit. You put the flowers, the seeds, and then you upgrade the thing, and then you can do other stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, I was fucking hyped for it, and it just ended up being mediocre at best. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I think it's mid.
In fact, even when it first came out, I remember everybody was kind of shocked that, like, oh, because we thought, oh, we're going to go there and it's going to be this relaxing island getaway vacation. And we get there and it's a fucking management sim spreadsheet thing where you need to assign work schedules to all the little robots. And it's just like, what? The general reaction.
It's trash. It's fucking trash. It just, there's nothing. Bro, I want to make my dojo.
Wait, we're here to work?
We're here to work?
This isn't what I expected at all. You're there by yourself. There's really no reason to go to someone else's.
That's so good.
Island. Almost a garrison.
Here to work.
Yeah, it's the garrison of FFXIV. Only, honestly, less fun than the garrison was. It's less interesting than the garrison. You level up for several hours, and then when you're done, you
oh my god, that's so
fill
good.
out the spreadsheet for your workshop.
Fill out the
and
spreadsheet.
You can have that done in 15 minutes once a week, and then you really,
oh man,
if
that's
you're really
good.
into it, that's as much time as it's really gonna take. But you don't. There's really no.
That was good. That was good.
Reason to do it once you have the mounts and like outfits and stuff that you wanted. It doesn't affect the game at all. It doesn't affect anything else. So there's no reason to go to anyone else's sanctuary. And probably the best thing that they did for it was add it so you could put outdoor furnishings there. So I mean that was okay, but that's kind of not what it was meant to do.
Bro, this video's so good. This video's so good, dude.
You have housing. Not everyone does, so that's why this is good, but as replayable content.
Bro, I thought it was gonna be so much more, man. So much more. You know, they hyped the fuck out of it too, man. They hyped the shit out of it in the live letter. And it turns out it's just some working simulator. She's right. Yup. That's exactly how it feels.
Content. It's just...
I want to make a dojo.
The Pandemonium Rave.
I wanted to make Kugane 2.0. I have a whole island to myself. Huge. I make my own dojo.
Story.
You do none of that.
Than the main story quest. There was a couple.
I wanted to hire some ninjas
here and there, But by and large, I've enjoyed it, and that's the thing I'm probably enjoying most in the game right now. I don't think it compares to Eden, but it's still solid and fine.
Yeah, man, Eden was just different, bro. Like, Shiva Savage, Titan Savage. Dude, even Leviathan Savage was such a good fight. And the fucking banger music, oh my god. Dude, Eden is easily one of my favorites. Oh yeah, E12S, E9S. Those are excellent fights. When you fight Gaia, I love that fight so much. Oh my god.
It's good. It's good.
I'm not gonna lie, I think E12S is better than P12S. I'm just gonna be honest. I think that fight was way more enjoyable in every way. Yeah, straight up. I consider it an actual downgrade.
We could talk about the 2-minute meta all day, but this really... No, we're not going to do that right now.
A lot of people aren't a fan of that. A lot of people. Oh, man. I do still want... Like, I'm not against the idea of current mug and stuff like that because it is what it is. I love Ninja. But I would love old Trick Attack. I would love to have that back because it made... Number one, it made me feel very special as a ninja because I'm a ninja. I got 60 seconds. You have 60 seconds. I make your 60 seconds better. It's good. And guess what? It would also fit in the even windows because, you know, 60 plus 60. Wow, quick maths. Yeah, dude, Shiva was fucking sick, man.
I don't even want to get into it right now because it's a whole can of worms. And it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, I think 2 minutes going to stay even for the next expansion. Let's be real. They're probably going to balance everything around the whole 2 minute. I don't see the 2 minute shit being removed next expansion. Even with the, you know, the level 100, you know, every job being a level 100. I think they're just going to add new abilities, new OGCDs, new GCDs, all that stuff. But they're going to keep the same idea of buffs are under evens. Was there a complaint in P12? They give you a BIS weapon and a mount.
The Native Dungeon is...
And some other shit.
Okay.
Music, orchestra.
It's not great for leveling, unfortunately, which is one of the main reasons that people do Deep Dungeon over and over for longevity. For replayability, you might notice a trend here where...
I was talking about Eureka Orthos?
The replayability is not a thing. It also feels like they didn't add enough things that were fresh and new to Deep Dungeon, which is sad because Deep Dungeon, I feel like, is...
I think fresh and new. I mean, they added that... I don't know if this is considered new, but they added those things, right? What's it called? You know the Pomander? They added like a new Pomander and the other Pomander where you can spawn the thing. Like 3 different... I forgot what they're called. Allegan dudes. And they do like abilities and shit. I mean, that's it really, though. Paladin doesn't fit in the 2 minute window. Let's just ruin its identity so it does then. Says it all. Yeah, it's like bullshit. Imagine like you're a Paladin enjoyer and they just like try to force it into this meta shit, you know? It's kind of what they did with Ninja as well, in a way, by making Mug 120 and Trick 60. I mean, the thing is, at least with Ninja, you know, I really enjoy it a lot. I don't know if they'll ever fucking make me like not enjoy it. The only way I'm not gonna enjoy Ninja is if they remove my Mudras. I'm not gonna lie, that would piss me off. Remove Trick Attack and remove Mudras, and I'm just like, what is this job anymore? Why am I playing this? Yeah, so as long as Trick stays, they don't nerf it, they don't remove it, I'm gonna be very happy because I love Trick. It's all about Trick. Your Suton plays around Trick, your Burst revolves around Trick. Keep Trick. Alright? And don't even nerf it. Keep it 10% damage. You don't nerf that shit.
Some of the best potential for content in the game that I have...
Is it really BIS? Like, for what? Like, basically, it's BIS for the Savage that you're gonna do. Yeah, so if you get the weapon, you're able to clear all the Savage bosses much faster, including 12. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's BIS until the new relic comes out, which is the last step, and that's not going to be very hard to get because, hey, they're probably just going to make it where you spend tomes again, because that's all they really do now with the relic, you just spend tomes.
has replayability and longevity. And I really wanted them to add better, more involved progression system within Deep Dungeon. Like, I don't know.
Instead of Aether Pool?
Make it more of a roguelite. I wish they would just be a little bit more creative with it. Because right now I just don't know anyone that's interested in it.
I think mainly people that are interested in Deep Dungeons are the Deep Dungeon solo community. Like people that like to go for high scores and stuff like that, you feel me? I feel like people enjoy Deep Dungeons for that. I feel like that's where people find the most fun out of the content. And I think that's where replayability comes in. Is like, hey, I can play, a different job and get from 1 to 100. That's it, really, though. To be fair, besides doing Ultimate on content, BIS is kind of pointless. You can do pretty much everything in crafted gear. Yeah, you can, technically. BIS just makes it a lot easier. Especially also with your health. Like, you have less health when you don't have BIS. And so you can die to stuff easier. But yeah, if you're someone that really just wants to do the highest damage as possible, believe it or not, like, it feels great with Ninja to do the highest damage my job can do. So obviously for me, I don't consider it pointless for me because, I'm a DPS job. I want to do the highest damage possible. I want to see big numbers. So for me, I get, I get satisfaction out of being BIS. But after you get BIS, that's when it gets stale. It's like, well, I re-cleared this 1,000 times. What am I going to do? Re-clear it for the 1,001th time? It's like, okay, well, I think now it's done, Like, I'd say in October, I'm going to stop doing re-clears. I do them right now every Tuesday, but, like, until October, there's no reason for me to do re-clears anymore. There's this new game coming out, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I really want to play it, so I'm going to be doing that for the most part. P12S weapon is weapon only used to actually beat P12S. Remembering your numbers rely on team damage. Yeah, it does. It does rely on your team's damage. Like, and the buffs and stuff. But also your weapon does make a difference. Parsing. Yeah, there's parsing. Yeah, that's something that could keep you playing as well, of course. RNG. Yeah, RNG has a lot to do with it, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Leveling up at it, your Aether Pool armor is...
One time I hit 170k, but on the kill pool, I hit a fucking 80k Hyosho. That's the way it goes. I even noticed that you're using HyperX headset too till now. Oh yeah, this is my favorite headset, Jasco. I've been using this headset now for the past, God, probably say 5 years. I love this headset. It's really comfortable.
Know anyone that's interested in it.
Especially for shooter games.
Your Aether Pool armor is really a pain in the ass, and it feels like it's not worth it because it doesn't really affect anything. The rewards aren't really there to incentivize people to do it too.
Yeah, what are the Deep Dungeon rewards? I actually don't know. Besides, I just know that you can spend something to get hyper potions, right? Or whatever it's called, the sustain thing. But I don't know what you can get from it. I think you can get money. Because you get drops and then you can sell that for money, right?
But in terms of content that has come out in this expansion, I'd say Deep Dungeon is alright. Like, it's not that bad.
Deep Dungeon is better than Criterion. It has more replayability than Criterion, I feel. Especially if you're trying to go for solo runs and getting high score. Absolutely.
It's one of the better ones. This is the most tragic case, though. Variant and Criterion.
Yeah, oh my god, yes. I literally just said that.
Because the content is good. Everybody agrees.
The rewards are shit.
The fights are well designed. It's innovative. It's fresh. It's like, oh, you got to think about how you're going to pull the mobs around, and that has been a breath of fresh air. That they have tried to do something new and different. But
yeah, it was cool.
They
rewards
take
are shit.
Measures with innovation. They're afraid to risk too much. Change up the formula too much. It seems like they were terrified to add anything into Criterion that, any kind of new item that you could get through it, anything that might screw up the strict itemization schedule.
Imagine if they made it so that you have to do Criterion to work on the relic. Something like that. That'd be pretty cool. More people would play Criterion. Look, I'm just saying. It could have been something. I mean, ideally, they try to add maybe like a new Bosja or a new Eureka or something. But Criterion is what we got. They could have made the relic progression through that. Yeah, why not? Actually, why not? More people would be willing to learn it and prog it. But there's no incentive.
That they have, where certain types of items drop from the alliance raid, and then certain types of items drop from the dungeon, and it has to be the specific item level, and they don't want to change it at all. They don't want to give you anything that's going to drop anywhere else that's going to be different. And I think they're really crippling their game by not providing. If they're not going to do the gear rewards from this stuff, I don't know, like find something else to make people go do. I don't know, maybe related to a relic, but they chose to take that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just said, yeah.
That out the game this time too. So
make it relate to a relic.
There's just no reward. There's no reward that anyone cares about in Criterion. Yes, there's like this mount. You can buy that with guild.
Yeah, you can fucking buy it. That's so goofy. It's like, hey, should I be progging to get this mount? Nah, I'll just buy it. I'm rich as fuck.
So kind of.
That's bullshit, dude.
Doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean that you've cleared it. It doesn't mean.
Yeah, it means you just bought it because you're rich.
In all my years of playing, I've never seen brand new piece of content die so fast. Brand new content, and in less than a week, no one cared. In fact, I remember the day that Variant and Criterion stuff came out the first time. The Ass and Ass Savage. And I had, taken my time logging in that day, and when I logged in, I saw my friend had already got the Silky mount from the Variant dungeon, from clearing all 12 paths of the Variant without even really trying. And so they were actually done with Variant
on the first day.
Before I could even log in, the same day that it came out.
Yeah, it's already done.
You can be done with it.
That's 100% true. She has a point. Because after you've done all the paths, do you have any other reason to do them again? Oh, well, yeah, maybe, you want to get certain glam pieces. But, you're pretty much done.
In a couple of hours. And that's, frankly, unacceptable in an MMO where you want people to be playing together. But I guess maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't want that anymore.
Yeah, it's so quick. It's already done.
I don't know. The PvP changes and addition of Crystalline Conflict is one of the more positive.
Okay. Crystal Conflict, though, is actually the best thing they added. It was fun. It's still fun. I still play it. You know what's trash, though? It takes forever to find matches. I was trying to get the diamond, bro. I wanted to show them that I'm the Ninja Prodigy, right? I wanted to dominate arenas. Crystal Conflict is really, really fun for me because it's like Overwatch, and I'm a big Overwatch fan. I have 1,000 hours in Overwatch. I love Overwatch. Push the crystal, push the payload, the same idea. And add the LBs, the rework on LBs for every job. PvP was easily one of the best additions. PvP day one, when they reworked PvP, was the most fun shit ever. I made videos about it instantly. The day one. It was so fun. I had a blast. I still enjoy it, I still enjoy it. It has a lot of replayability, especially with the ranked system. It has a lot of replayability, but people don't queue up anymore, and it just sucks. People queue up for casual more than ranked. I mean, what are you worried about? Just play ranked, man. Grind. That's the downside is people don't queue ranked. I literally tried queuing earlier. 20 minutes queue time. Awful.
Things that I think have happened in this expansion.
Because Complex at W.
Series, Milestones rewards, the PvP rewards that was meant to keep.
This is the only reason people queue up for PvP, by the way, is so they can get this mount, and then they pretty much never go again. Yep. Pretty much. They need to make this system better. They need to make it longer. They need to add more rewards. Instead of... You guys know in League of Legends, there's this event pass, right? And let's just take that as an example. An event pass, it has a lot of levels, and then... there comes a certain point where it will be infinite rewards, right? The thing about this is it ends way too early, at 30. At least the event pass in League is longer. Even the battle pass in Overwatch takes longer. It gives more people to keep going. The nice thing in FF is this shit's free. In other games, it's a battle pass. You have to buy it. this shit is free. They could add so much more exciting rewards for milestones every time you reach like 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 add something, 35. Keep it longer. I feel like it's too short. People stop queuing up. I know they added another incentive to PvP, like getting the weapon if you reach a diamond. Would be nice if people queued up for it to get that weapon, but it feels like not many people are. Although I know some people have got the weapon by now.
People engaged with the PvP long term, you can knock it all out in a week or two if you try. So people that do casual, I mean, that still pops fairly often.
Oh look, it's Brian. Brian. I saw this on stream, by the way. It was so good.
But if you've done casual, it can get kind of boring.
Also, one of those ninjas looked like Thancred.
Really, where the fun is,
Giga
in
Chad.
my opinion.
I respect that ninja.
Ranked players, they do this in the first couple weeks, and then they are gone. There's no further incentive to do it anymore after that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, anytime I complain about it, people just say, oh, well, if you're playing FFXIV for the PvP, you're playing the wrong game. And I'm really tired of this defeatist attitude, frankly.
That's so fucking stupid, dude. That's so fucking stupid. Like, this game is supposed to be meant for everyone, man. I don't understand why people shit talk like, oh, man, the PvP should never existed in FF14. It's stupid. Look, I can talk shit about you being AFK and Limsa all day, but I don't do it because, you know, it's your game. You do whatever you want. I know people do whatever they want in this game. This game is meant for everyone. PvE, open world, hunts, you have parties and housing, and then, of course, you have PvP. Why the fuck not? Why not?
For the PvP, you're playing the wrong game. And I'm really tired of this defeatist attitude.
Yeah, I agree with Zepla on
There's
this.
also people who do not want the game to ask you to do more. Let me tell you something. You don't need the game to not have stuff in it for you to walk away when you're tired. You can just walk away when you're tired.
Pretty much.
Unfortunately, the FF14 community has developed a little bit of a reputation for not being able to take criticism at all.
At all.
And this is really damaging to the game as well. We need to be able to discuss when things don't feel right, they don't feel as good as they used to be. And I almost feel like people want to say that they're burnt out because it's easier for others to accept than for them.
You gotta tiptoe around in this community sometimes, man. Like, it's up to people not to be so offended by shit. This is true. A lot of the times you have to tiptoe your way around not triggering someone, but it's that person's responsibility to control himself. You're not responsible for their triggers. I'm triggered. How can you say that about my shit? How can you criticize my game? How dare you? You can't say that. That's illegal. Yo, Blue Cloud, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Welcome to the Creed of Assassinos. I appreciate the follow. Thank you. But yeah, she's right on this.
I'm to say the content this time wasn't fun enough for me. The content didn't make me want to play. The content wasn't something I was excited to do. It's almost like that in itself.
But how could you not find it exciting, man? I'm gonna tweet about this.
You know, that's how people are, dude. It's true.
Is a taboo for some people to say. And it's easier for them to accept. Well, maybe it's on me. It's just I'm personally tired of the game. And I think in a lot of cases, maybe that's not true. Because I've never seen this many people claim to be burnt out, and I think it actually has a lot to do with the content more than people are willing to admit.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of hearing people say, whenever we bring up these complaints or any kind of criticism about the game and why I want to be able to play it more, but I can't. I'm tired of hearing people say, well,
there's a lot of content. Why don't you just do this and that?
I bet she's gonna say that.
We don't want this to be a game where it's just this huge grind where you need 30 hours a week to stay up to date. No one is saying that. Stop jumping to this huge, extreme conclusion. I hate that people keep doing this. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, just because I say that I would like the lightest possible pressure.
What do you mean you don't love Island Sanctuary? Exactly, dude. You know, I thought that shit was gonna be sick. I thought it was gonna be, you know, making my ninja dojo. It was fucking trash. Like, it was trash.
Please, maybe
it was trash, dude.
That doesn't mean I want to go full balls to the wall, Shadowlands, renown grinds. I don't want that. No one wants that. No one's asking for that. So stop saying that.
Oh, WoW had renown. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Diablo. Diablo 4 also has that renown system. You are just the 1%. That is not a problem for the majority of the casual player base. I've seen this shit so much. Exactly, dude. Oh my god, true. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, that's true. Yup. They think about, oh, how many... You know, the PvP community is small, right? It's a small community. But when they reworked PvP, it got those people really hyped. And so they kept playing PvP. To say that PvP should never exist and that you should just play a different game if you want a PvP is fucking mind-blowing to me. How people think. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And you see this shit all the time. In fact, I've seen tweets just straight up saying we should just have more raids instead of PvP. They shouldn't have done PvP. There's a waste of time and resources. Come on, man. It honestly wasn't even that fucking bad. Dude, Crystal Conflict's not even that bad. It's actually fun if you really just see and get into it. Queue up for ranked. Alright, just queue up for ranked. Learn PvP, read the abilities. I swear to God, it's fun. It's the most fun I've had in a while with FF.
What we are saying is that we want...
It's good to have options. We have a lot of raids already, you know. Of course, I would love more raids all the time. We already had 2 new ultimates this expansion. We have a lot of boss content, okay? But it's not a bad thing to have PvP. And they worked hard at it. It's pretty good. I mean, it needed a rework, by the way. Why have ultimate? It's just for top of the top. Nobody else does it. Spend those resources elsewhere. And there you have that too. Yep. Yep. Includes with ultimates as well. Exactly true. And a lot of people find a lot of fulfillment with ultimates. I do too. It gives me a reason to play the game. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm at a point where after killing all the 5 ultimates, I would love another one. I want something new now. I want another ultimate. But right now I have PvP. That's like the main thing that like keeps me playing, but no one queues up for it. So it's kind of shit, kind of annoying.
I feel like the game is
I need people to queue
an exciting place to be, at least sometimes, at least for maybe 1-2 weeks after the major patch came out. Okay? I don't want to see people falling off and saying they're bored. Like a week after patch. This is not normal. Okay, I've been around playing this game for long enough to know what's normal and what isn't, and this isn't.
Yeah.
I'm seeing really unhealthy signs right now.
The content needs to be long-term.
And I think this lack of attention to the game from the devs, that's really what it seems like. It seems like laziness. And this hesitation to criticize the game at all on behalf of the player base is going to kill the game eventually. Now, I said I don't want to be a doomer, and I don't think the game is dying, but these are things that...
It's very far from dying. It's just this expansion really didn't have what I hoped, at least, that it would have.
We need to nip in the bud before they get out of hand. You need to be able to admit.
I will say, though, the best thing that came out of this expansion is Dragon Song. Holy shit. Literally the best ultimate I've ever played. Dragon Song, W. Best ultimate. After that, man, where the fuck is my shit? I don't know. There are a lot of things they missed out. Even the Blue Quest trials would have been nice. They just skimmed past that. A lot of shit they didn't add, actually. I'm gonna be honest, everything she said so far, I agree with. Everything.
The content itself is just worse. It's that simple. We're not comfortable with that in this community, because usually every expansion is like the goose laying the golden egg. It's usually pretty damn good. And I'm willing to accept that.
Well, people think Stormblood is the best.
For any game to keep your attention nonstop all the time. That's not what we're asking for either. But what I do want is to not see most of my friends say things like, well, I guess I'll just come back in Dawn Trail. Now, some people are saying, oh, well, it's just because they were so busy working on FF16 that they had to cut some corners here. I don't know if that's true, and frankly, I don't care.
I think it is true. but it doesn't mean that FF14 should have less content because they're working on FF16. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with her.
Because the fact is, a lot of people are saying it. And if a lot of people feel that way, then it's unacceptable. Maybe Yoshi P's attention has been divided. I mean, he is on the board of directors. He tried to get off it, and they won't let him for some reason. He had been working on FF16, and he's trying to do director.
Wait, what is it?
They won't let him for some reason.
Yoshida tried to quit Square's board of directors, but the company wouldn't let him. Wait, what is this? An interesting quote from... Yoshida has been part of the board of directors since the 14th game has been successful, which he doesn't like as much. I recently tried to quit that work, but the company didn't agree with it. I don't want to be in the board. It's much more fun to just make games. He doesn't understand colleagues who want to enter the board. They probably just want to make a ton of money, but you can also just do that as a game developer. Wait, so I don't understand what this is. What is a company board? So he wants to, he finds it more fun to make the games, but he's in the company board? Yeah, I don't know what's the job of a company board. Like, what do they do?
He had been working on FF16.
They represent the company? I don't know what it means.
And he's trying to do direct producer of FF14. I just feel like it's too much. They're working this man too damn hard. And he needs to stop doing everything else that he's got his attention split on and focus on FF14.
Company politics decide the direction of the entire company? Oh.
Give it his full, undivided...
Damn, so he's working on the game and that shit too. Holy fuck. Yo, bro, Yoshi's literally carrying. He's literally carrying. I mean, not only did he save Final Fantasy XIV, the entire game, but also he's literally carrying the entire company.
Attention for
Dude, Yoshi's actually different.
John Trail, because I don't ever want to hear anybody saying again, making excuses for them as to why the content seems worse this time around. The main point I hope I can really get across to you in this video is that this isn't black and white. It shouldn't be a choice between so much pressure to log in that there's like FOMO even. You have to log in right now or you're missing out.
But also not have less shit.
There's somewhere better to do between that and we're not asking you to do anything. So why do you care? I guess you need to think of your own reason to care. And most people don't, because they're constantly being barraged on all sides by a million other games that are working very hard to give them lots of reasons to care about logging into those other games.
Baldur's Gate is huge right now.
And I'm sorry to say, but FFXIV needs to fight a little harder for people's time and not take it for granted. People will just always come back and always play. And like, yes, maybe they will for the expansions, but what about the rest of the time? One thing I would say also as another little addendum, DSR was probably the best experience I've ever had.
I literally just said that. It literally is 100% the best content in Endwalker. Fully agreed. Zepla knows. And I know. We fucking know. Yup.
One thing I would say also as another little addendum,
100%.
DSR was probably the best experience I've ever had in gaming. Clearing DSR, the ultimate raid that came out in Endwalker, was the most fun I've ever had.
Absolutely.
In a game.
Hard agree.
Period. It was phenomenal. It showed me just how amazing battle content in FFXIV can be.
Yep.
It showed...
Bro, oh man, when I first prog DSR, the hype was so fucking real, man. The hype was so real. The prog was crazy, the fight was awesome, reaching that last phase and the fucking music going ham. I was sweating bullets, I'm not even kidding, I remember. Dude, my hands were so sweaty. My entire mouse pad was just water because I was so into it and so like trying to aim not to fuck up the mechanics and go for that kill at the end and go for that push. That last phase is fucking majestic. That last phase is beautiful. Literally the best fight ever made. God, I love Dragon's Song.
The game can be so thrilling and so engaging and so exciting when the battle content is designed around what you need to do.
This fight was fucking beast,
man. It keeps you like
man.
invested and engaged and like
best content in Endwalker, 100%.
Like your choices matter, and that was so incredible for me. And so I know how good the game can be, and maybe because of that experience, I continue to set a very high standard for it, and I want them to do the
Yeah.
same. Now, that is not actually all I have to say about this topic, but the next part of this discussion is about the casual experience, and that's going to be my next video, because what I've noticed is, seems like some people like to say, oh, well, it's all for the casuals. They're just dumbing down the game for the casuals.
That's so fucking stupid.
And I got news for you. The casual experience is really suffering as well. And so I'm going to be talking about that in the next video. And I know some of y'all are not going to be happy that I'm...
Yeah, like, I mean, what do you have for casual content? Like, look at the Relic, man. It's trash, the grind. You just do the same shit, roulettes over and over. And then you get the thing. Like, you don't even have Bosja or Eureka in this expansion. Like, what do you really have as a casual? It's just much of the same shit that you always do. To be fair, Dragon Song was supposed to come out in Shadowbringers. Dude, imagine if it did. Oh my god. Shadowbringers would actually be the best. So it's not even a pure Endwalker bit of content. Yeah, that's true. And I guess they had longer time to refine it as well, right? I guess, because it didn't release in Shadowbringers. So it turned out to be a fucking masterpiece, pretty much. Absolute masterpiece. Yeah, I'd say that's like the main positive thing about Endwalker. Which also would have literally made Shadowbringers at the very top of my list. Shadowbringers was fucking good. And with that ultimate, oh my god. Dude, holy shit. DSR plus... would they have added top in Shadowbringers? I guess, right? Did they add an ultimate in Shadowbringers at all? Oh yeah, they added T. Right. Oh my god, it would have been T and Dragon Song. Whew. That'd be one hell of an expansion. That'd be one hell of an expansion. 2 really great ultimates. Damn. And then we would have had Top and Tsukiyomi, right? That would have been the other ultimate. We're going to get that ultimate next expansion, though. I'm really hyped for it, by the way. The Stormblood MSQ ultimate. Tsukiyomi, Shinryu, they're going to add all that shit. That's going to be hype, man. So is great to Endwalker. Yeah, story is great. There's nothing wrong with the story, especially 6.0 and 6.4. I would say those are my favorite stories. Yeah, Raid Story was alright. Raid Story was alright. If DSR came out in Shadowbringers, the Alliance Right switched, and Endwalker would be unplayable. Dude, Shadowbringers would have been crazy. I get it though, you know, they talked about COVID and all that, so they couldn't release the ultimate. I get it. But man, it would have been crazy if DSR came out in Shadowbringers.
I mean, negative video or critical.
With a guy, yeah, exactly. Like Trials, Blue Quest. That's what's missing in Endwalker. It's actually tragic. They just added all that shit in MSQ, basically.
Video. The next one
Actually
is also
sad.
going to be pointing out things that could be improved. But I really hope that you can get real comfortable, real fast with
I would love to see that
constructive
video.
criticism of the game. We need this. We all need to get real cool about it real quick if we want this game to really thrive, because we need to hear from all sides. We need to hear from all perspectives. And I can hear the canary in the coal mine is what I'm saying, and I want positive change. And so we're never going to get that if we just plug our ears and close our eyes and act like, oh, everything's perfect all the time. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Please tell me about
That was a good
your
video, man.
thoughts on the Endwalker patches. Have you been spending this time putting 200 hours into Baldur's Gate 3 like I have and so many other people have?
Yeah.
Is there like, what other games are you playing?
It is crazy how many people are playing Baldur's Gate. Must be a really good game.
Or maybe
Insane.
you're still going for the story, or maybe you have found things to do in the game. You've created your own self-directed goals that have kept you entertained. If so, please let me know all about that in the comment section down below. Again, I want to reiterate that many people are having fun with the expansion. It's not like the worst game ever. It's not like it's horrible now.
Yeah. I mean,
would
it's
never
like
say that.
it's all right, but when you compare it to the previous expansion, come on. Shadowbringers had way better content. I'm just gonna keep it straight. I'm gonna keep it real.
And I don't believe that. There have been good things, but FFXIV is a game that has set a very high bar across all of its expansions, and I've been playing for a long time, keeping up to date with every story, every major patch, and this one has felt different. Okay, it's felt worse, frankly. So yeah.
That was good.
Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow warriors of light.
Already
Thank you so
liked.
much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a really, really good video. That was really good. Dude, I like Zepla, man. I like Zepla. She talks real shit. And she's literally right. She's literally right about everything she just said. Fucking true.